So now let us look at some sampling based strategies where we will ensure that the output is not deterministic, right. So let us start with top k sampling, which at first glance may look like beam search with beam of size k, but it is not, right, and we will understand the difference. So once again at time step 1, we have this as the distribution. So I gave go as the input and these are the probabilities. So I will consider the top k tokens. Okay, that is why, as I said, it may sound like beam search, but it is not. So let us see what the difference is, right. So I am going to take the top k tokens. Let us consider k is equal to 2. So I am going to take the top 2 tokens. Okay. So the top 2 tokens are coffee and I. They had probabilities 0.25 and 0.4. Now what I am going to do is I am going to normalize these probabilities so that the sum of the probabilities of the first 2 tokens is equal to 1. Right. So what does that mean? 0.25 divided by 0.25 plus 0.4 and 0.4 divided by 0.25 plus 0.4. If I do that computation, this becomes 0.61 and this is 0.39. So now the probabilities have been normalized as if my sample space contained only these 2 tokens I and coffee. Okay. Now instead of taking the top one from here, I am going to sample from this distribution. What does sampling from this distribution mean? So you can think of this as 0 to 1, okay, and up to 0.61 the space belongs to I, and from 0.61 to 0.1, sorry, 0.61 to 1 the space belongs to coffee. Okay. Now I want to sample from this distribution. This is what the distribution looks like. That much probability mass has been taken by I and the remaining has been taken by coffee. Now how do I sample from this distribution? I will just use any random number generator which gives me a value between 0 to 1, right? And suppose this gives me the value 0.7. Then I am in the space of coffee. So I will sample coffee as the word. Although coffee had a lower probability than I, because I am sampling, there is a stochasticity. So it is possible that coffee might become my first output. Does that make sense? Right? Then the next time I do this, again this will not change because the moment I pass go as the input, this is what will get generated as the probability distribution. Again I will get the top 2 tokens, right, and I will normalize them to get this picture. Now when I call the rand function, it is possible that it gives me the output as 0.2. So then I am in the space of I and I will be get sampled as the word, right. So what does that mean? That what is the difference in these 2 cases? In the first case, let us understand with a standard transformer diagram. I gave go as the input, okay. I got a probability distribution over the entire vocabulary. I restricted it to the top 2 words, okay, and then I sampled from those top 2 words and I got I as the input, or was it coffee? Earlier I got coffee as the output, right. So then I passed coffee here and continued that process. The next time I came here, I did the same thing, so none of this changed, but when I applied the rand function again, I got 0.2, which means I was in the space of I, so I got generated here, right. And now I am going to feed I as the input at time step 2. So now again my sequence will change from there on. Does that make sense? And I will do this at every time step. Okay. So what does that mean? So maybe at the first time step I got generated not because it was the highest probability token, but because my sampling, when I generated rand, I got a number which lies in the space of I, okay, or in the region which belongs to I. So I got generated. Then using I as the input, I again generated the next probability distribution, which was this. Again I will keep the top 2 guys from here, okay. So let us see what the top 2 guys are. They are like and stop, okay. So now I will again normalize them. So I have like is 0.55 and stop is 0.15. So then my normalized probabilities would be 0.55 divided by 0.15 plus 0.55 and 0.15 divided by 0.15 0.15 plus 0.55. Okay. So, this I think would be roughly 0.77 and 0.23, something of that sort, or even something in that range. So, this is the probability of stop and this is the probability of like. Okay. So, again my picture looks like this. My number line between 0 to 1 has been divided into two spaces. This is 0.77. So, this belongs to I, and sorry, this belongs to like and this belongs to stop. Okay. Then again call my random number generator 0, 1 and maybe it generated 0.9, in which case I will output stop and hence my sequence will stop there, right. Does that make sense? Maybe the next time I call it, okay, maybe the random number generated 0.5, then I am in the space of like, so I will generate like as the token. So, you see that how now with the same inputs my outputs would still be different because I am using sampling. Is that okay everyone? Right. So, first time maybe I stop got generated, the second time it could have generated coffee, then maybe like, then cold, and so on, right. It does not make sense, but because we are operating with a limited vocabulary, but you can see now that I am not making it deterministic anymore. I get some probabilities, I keep the top two guys because I have confidence in them and then sample from them, right. I could produce the first guy or the second guy, and if I took k equal to 5, if I do top 5 sampling, then any of the 5 tokens I could get based on the sample. Okay. So, that is how creativity would come. And this surprise is an outcome of being random, right. So, now this study, what it shows is that if you look at beam search, right, it tries to produce very little surprise because it will produce words which have a very high probability, right. That is what you are seeing here, all of these are close to 1. But if you ask humans to generate a sequence, right, once upon a time there was a king, you and I will continue it in very different way, right. So, there will be a lot of surprise, we may put in words which have very, very low probability, right. So, once upon a time there was a king in some weird country, right, which is not even a real country, right, some imaginary word we would produce. So, that word would have very low probability, but humans would generate that, and that is why we find human generated stories to be interesting, because they have a lot of surprise factor in that, right. So, human would produce outputs which have low probability, high probability, all of this variation would be there. But a beam search will only produce outputs which have a very high probability, and hence you will not see any surprise there, you will not see creativity, right. But now with the sampling, it is possible that you also generate a word which is of low probability, and that is exactly what we saw, that a word which is of lower probability could be generated because you are tossing a coin, or rather generating a number between 0 to 1, and that number could be anything, and based on which space it lies in, it will generate that word. Does that make sense? Okay. And just to extend that idea further, now suppose we had top 5 sampling. Okay. So, then what would we do? We will take the top 5 words and normalize their probabilities, and then what would our picture look like? This is our number line between 0 to 1. Now, it is divided into some 5 spaces, right, and each of these spaces belongs to the corresponding word, right. So, suppose the probabilities were, I should have maybe taken a, okay, let us say the 5 words were I, go, where, now, then. Suppose these were the top 5 words at this time step, and their probabilities were let us say 0.3, 0.2 and then 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. Okay. So, this region up to 0.3 belongs to I. Okay. This region from 0.3 to 0.2 belongs to go. Then these 3 regions of 0.1 each, right. So, oh, this does not sum up to that is okay, I have just taken this. So, this 0.6, 0.6 to 0.7 belongs to, this region belongs to where, this region belongs to now, and this region from 0.7 to 1 belongs to then, right. Now, I call the random function again, which gives me a number between 0 to 1. So, it gives me the number suppose 0.55, then I will sample the word where. If it gives me the number 0.25, I will sample the word I, right. So, that is how every time depending on what the random number generator generates, it will give me a number. Now you will ask that I took so much pain of passing things through the transformer and then computing the probabilities, and at the end you are randomly picking something. But note that I am not randomly really picking something. I am not picking randomly from the entire 40,000 word vocabulary. I have seen what are the top 5 things possible at that time step, and I am only sampling from that, right. So it's random, but it's also sort of controlled random, right, because you know that these 5 words are showing up as top 5 words. So maybe if I generate any of those, it should be okay, and I should be able to continue a sequence from there, right. So the smaller this is, the better, right? If it's top 1, it's like this, right, you're generating the highest probability sequence every time. If you give it some variety, then it will generate surprising sequences, okay. So that's what we do in top K sampling. Yeah. So this is an illustration, right. So what is happening here is that at every time step, the distribution looks like what it looks like, but the word which gets selected is shown in red, right, and you can see that a different word is selected at every time step, not the max probability word which is getting selected, okay.